I found this piece at our local restore, and it had been sitting in the shop or in the store for a while. And when I walked in one day, they said that they would sell it for $40 if we took it right now. And so this piece, a lot of people have said to just leave it as it is. And from far away, I also got those table legs too. But from far away, it doesn't look bad. But up close, they had painted it with like gold paint. And then the chippy paint doesn't look good. From far away, it doesn't look bad, but it also had the original key to the door. So I couldn't pass it up for $40. I had to bring it home. It did come with a closet rod inside, but we are adding shelves inside, but I had to strip this down to the raw wood and just see how it looked underneath. This has been a process. This is I've used Dremels, I use heat guns. This is a project that I knew I was going to take my time on. I wasn't going to stress about it. I wasn't going to rush through it. I just kind of wanted to take my time and see this project through. It was only $40. I couldn't believe it. And so I just really wanted to see what the wood looked like underneath. If you do not have a Dremel, it's amazing. It really gets in like the small nooks and crannies, when you're sanding and pieces like this. So it has really come in handy with this piece. Because there's a lot of little details. Like you can see it here, that gold paint. I don't even know what kind of gold paint they used, but it's not good at all. The heat gun has taken off a little bit, but the sanding on the gold paint is really what's helped. You do go through these little sanding pads on the Dremel fast when you've got a big project like this, but it's definitely worth it. And it's a tool that I'm so glad that we have. I just wish it went even tinier sometimes, because there have been some real tiny nooks and crannies on this huge wardrobe that it doesn't fit in. And here's kind of a middle look. There's headway here, but there's still such a long way to go. Some of these white specks I can't get into, and so I am going to be fine leaving it. You can see here the door just kind of crumbled as I was sanding it, using my ServPrep here. As I was just, sanding the door, it just kind of came apart. You can see it here. So as we have been working on it, we've had to fix it as well. So one of the legs needed a little bit of reinforcement, and the door we had to fix. I've used screwdrivers to get into the smaller areas. This is like an old ice pick or some kind of pick that we got at a estate sale that has come in handy for some of the little white spots. I just heat it up with my heat gun, and then I'm able to kind of use that little ice pick to get in those areas and get those areas clean. The legs have been kind of a beast. So there's little lines and indents in the legs. So again, the Dremel has come in handy with some of the areas on the legs to make kind of quick work of sanding those. And then the sandpaper. I have gone through so much sandpaper. I'm using my orbital sander, my ServPrep sander, the Dremel with the sanding attachments. So a lot of sandpaper. Okay, so at this stage, this is where we are. So this is the back. So I've been setting it on its side, on its back, just so that I can see all the nooks and crannies. So this is the side I'm going to work on now. So I've been working on it right side up, but then when you lay it down, you can kind of get a better view at where you still need to, to kind of use the heat gun and get some more of this off. I am not going to be super nitpicky about, let me show you. Well, like some of these are going to stay, and I've been thinking about bleaching this piece. I don't know yet. I have to, what I'm going to have to do is once I get it all done to a point where I think, okay, there's no more. I am going to just go over it all with a sandpaper to kind of do a final sanding, and then, you know, wipe it all down and really let it dry. I wipe it all down with like a damp cloth to make sure I get all the sanding dust down or off. And then I will let it fully dry, and then I will look to see what the wood looks like. So I still, you know, I don't know for sure, but that's kind of what I was thinking. We've had to do some, oh, you can see it here. So this leg was a little wonky, and so we have had to add a little bit of just like these little L brackets, the braces. And then you can kind of see it. It's too heavy for me to move on my own. And this is where, like I said, I'm going to be working on this side, but I just kind of wanted to give you an update, like a real life. This is sometimes what a project is. I usually do not pick up projects like this because they're usually, something like this is usually, it's so expensive. It's not even worth it. But when they gave it to us for $40, I was like, yes, I'm going to do it. And I really wanted to see this one through. So this isn't a final video of the makeover, but I just kind of wanted to share the real, you know, some projects take a little bit longer. If this, I haven't decided yet. I would love to keep this piece. I don't know if we're going to have room for it. So that's another reason why I've kind of been spending a little bit more time on it. If not, I can always sell it, but, this piece, I mean, I don't know when we'll find another one like this at such a great price, but it's needed some work, right? Like, you know, as I've been sanding it, like I said, you know, the door kind of, it just came apart. Nothing like broke, but you know, then we had to mend that or fix that. And so, but I still think it's going to be worth it in the end. I will, you know, be using salve in the inside for sure. We did add, and I can't show you now because it's on its side, but we did add just 2 wood drawers, or not drawers, shelves inside. So I will stain those. Those are a new wood. I would use this with shelves more than I would like hanging clothes in it. So we added 2 new shelves. I will need to stain those. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to give you a real life, like this is really what it's like, especially a project like this that, you know, like this piece here, that's an easy flip, right? Scuff sand it, I can paint it, and then I can sell it really quickly. But something like this, it just takes a lot more time. So if you are flipping for profit, I mean, something like this, you really got to think about it, because it is a lot of work. It is a lot of time. And you want to make sure that you're getting that in the end when you sell it. But like I said, sometimes for pieces for our home, I will just take a little bit more time, or just, I have a little bit more time and a little bit more, you know, I'm not rushing through it to get it done. So, and I've really taken my time on this one. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you kind of a realistic, this is what it is. It's not a 30-second reel or a 30-second short that, you know, these projects get done. So now I'm going to start working on this, and I'm going to use a heat gun, on these areas. That'll take all this out. You know, I need to use it on here. And then I'll do some sanding and probably use the Dremel on some of these areas right here, but okay.